all things femininity. Those are not environments that breeds a soft, feminine woman. Anything else that I'm telling you guys after this would have never worked if I did not first prioritize my relationship with God. Everything else that I don't get done on that day is secondary, and it'll get done the next day. Like, oh my gosh, how does this make you more feminine? Keeping my hair done, keeping my nails done. But hygiene is super duper important. Like, people never forget somebody who smells. Romanticizing my life. Christ is my firm foundation. But I have learned to really be intentional about the words I speak and the way that I speak. So sometimes I feel like I can be micromanaging, and I could always want to know what's next. Is to not chase, but to attract. When you do the things that you don't want to do, when you don't want to do it, you get the results that you do want when you want them. What is up, BratBabes? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome to the BratBabes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, today we are going to be talking about all things femininity. Y'all, first of all, let's give it up for the new scenery. I never ever recorded a video in the bedroom, but I feel like I've been recording a lot in my beauty room, and I felt like why not just like switch up the scenery for a little bit. And also I feel like the vibes in my room really matches what we're going to be talking about today. I am super excited for today's video and getting all into things femininity, y'all, because I think like I didn't always think of myself as a super feminine woman. Yeah, I know that I am Haitian. Not only am I Haitian and grew up in a household with a lot of like strong-minded Caribbean women, but I also grew up in New York City, Brooklyn at that. And I feel like those are not environments that breeds a soft, feminine woman. And I've been really trying to tap more into that, and this video actually came about because I had recorded like a Q&A girl chat video, and in that girl chat somebody had asked me like femininity tips, and I'm like, oh, I guess the things that I've been doing have been working. I have been watching creators who base on like coaching women and giving women advice. I've watched a lot of videos, even with TikTok and social media just evolving. I think it made it so much easier to unlearn a lot of things and learn new things and implement them in my day-to-day life. So I am so excited to tell you guys everything that has worked for me. I do want to preface this video by saying that femininity is subjective. What I may find to be feminine, you may not find it to be that way. So I just want you guys to know that not everything I say that you have to apply to yourself. Multiple things can be true at once. I say in all of my videos, girl chats, things that just work for me. And at the end of the day, you have to use your discernment so that you're able to take the meat and leave the bone. That's something I literally have to say, because I think a lot of the times, especially in this day and age with social media, a lot of people think that everything has to apply to them. So I just want you guys to know everything does not have to apply to you. It is okay for things to not work for you that work for me, and vice versa. But y'all know every time I start a video, y'all, I need a bev. This ice green tea lemonade has been my fave. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I have some notes on my phone because I didn't want to forget anything. So if you guys see me looking, please do not mind me. So one of the first things that helped me on this journey was a relationship with God. If it was not for a relationship with Jesus Christ himself, y'all, anything else that I'm telling you guys after this would have never worked if I did not first prioritize my relationship with God. It wasn't until I really started prioritizing prayer, being in my Bible, being in my word, and really just having a relationship with God that I realized that a lot of the things that I was doing kept me in my like masculine. And nobody's gonna have you in your soft girl era. I don't even like using that term because I feel like a lot of terms on social media are just played out, but nobody will have you in your soft girl era like Jesus. Like, that's just it. I'm sorry. Until I found a relationship with God and really felt conviction from the Holy Spirit for a lot of the things I'm going to talk about, none of the other tips would have worked. I'm telling y'all. So that was just number one for me. I feel like if I am a believer, I understand that women were created by God. So I had to really go back to the person that designed me and to really understand how I am supposed to operate. So I just wanted to preface this video by saying that, because he's my firm foundation. Okay, Christ is my firm foundation. If you say I can't say, you're a hater. Okay, so then another thing that has helped me on this journey was having a mindset shift from hustle culture to prioritizing rest. I personally believe that hustle culture for me was rooted in anxiety. It was rooted in a scarcity mindset that I had from childhood. It was rooted in a lack of faith in God, always looking for the next best accomplishment, always looking for the next best thing, always trying to have another job, another side hustle, another business, simply because I could not rest. even God rested. So I had to learn that I do not need to wake up with a million or a trillion things on my to-do list and burn myself out. I now wake up with 2 to 3 things on my priority list, and everything else that I write down is secondary. So if I wake up, I say, you know what, today I need to go to the gym. Today I need to handle some business stuff. And then maybe after that, I need to meal prep. Everything else that I don't get done on that day is secondary, and it'll get done the next day. I felt like always having a really long to-do list, always looking for the next best thing, the next accomplishment. Like I remember when I graduated nursing school, a lot of people were already asking me like 1 or 2 years in, when you going back, when you going back. I am allowed to like rest. I never want to take my blessings so casually. I never want to get used to my blessings. I will never forget the time and the horrific things that I went through in nursing school for me to now be so casual about it. Like at this point, I find it really important to be able to sit in my answered prayers, to be able to prioritize myself, my health, how I'm feeling, instead of always looking for the next best thing. I just feel like there was no way for me to be super soft, feminine, and relaxing when I'm always trying to survive, because it's rooted in the 3 things that I said before, like anxiety, lack of faith, scarcity mindset. So now, like I said, 2 to 3 things on my to-do list, and I'm good, baby. Another thing that has helped me on my journey was waking up earlier than I need to. Okay, so me personally, I do not like to rush. I've never liked to rush. I've always been somebody who has been on time, especially when it comes to school and work. And actually, I would say early, because I believe on time is late. Now, this may not, to y'all might be like, oh my gosh, how does this make you more feminine? But I feel like when I am rushing, when I am like all over the place, I don't feel calm. I don't feel good. I literally get super anxious when I am rushing. Like, this could even be like, I'm late for work, I'm late for this, or I'm late for an event, I'm late to meet up with friends. That's why I like to plan my time ahead. Waking up earlier really just sets the tone for my day. Like, when I just like to plan accordingly, I do not like to rush. I do not like to be all over the place. And I feel like when I can like move at my own pace, be on time, well, be early, this just adds a little bit of softness to my day. Waking up earlier than I need to gives me time to pray, to read my devotional, to spend time with God, to do my skincare, to do my hair. And like I always say, you have to work on yourself so that you do not become a hater. Waking up a few minutes earlier than you normally do, just to give yourself a little bit more time to get ready, to put more effort into your appearance. It doesn't have to be this long, dragged out thing, but I do think it makes a big difference in setting the tone for your day. Now, that point actually goes hand in hand with my next one, which is upkeeping my maintenance and my appearance. I think that this just adds to my femininity overall, because when I look good, I feel good. Now, I have learned this from a very young age. I have worked since I was 13 years old. As soon as I got my working papers, baby, I had a job. And what I did with my money during that time was just keeping my hair done, keeping my nails done, keeping my eyebrows done. So I'm not new to this, honey. I am true to this. Obviously, it only got better as I advanced into my career and started making more money. And I got to do more things like laser, got to get my eyebrows microbladed, getting like longer extensions and stuff like that. And I learned to even do my own hair. These are the things that has helped me a lot, because I think when I am done up and I look put together, I just appear more feminine. I realized, like, I used to be one of those girls, especially growing up where I grew up in Brooklyn. It was like okay to walk outside with a bonnet when you would just go into the corner store. Now, as an adult, I do not do that anymore. I am big on, even if my hair is not done, y'all know I wear wigs. You can even throw on a scarf, throw on a headband. Y'all know I love my little Louis Vuitton scarf. It doesn't even have to be name brand, but you can throw on that. You can throw on a headband. You can put on a hat. And sometimes I'll just straighten the end of the extensions because my lace is all over the place. And even that goes a long way. I don't always need to get super dressed up. Y'all know I love me a 2-piece set. So sometimes I'll just throw on a set, do something real quick to my hair, a little bit of perfume, and I'm good. I don't always feel the need to be dolled up because that's just not realistic for me. So I don't wear makeup a lot unless I am going out filming or I have things to do. But just doing things like doing my hair, having my eyebrows microbladed, my lashes done, my nails done, these are things that go a very long way. Because when I go to work, I don't wear makeup. I love the girls that do. I think they look absolutely stunning. But for me personally, that's just not where I'm at right now. But even just waking up, doing my skincare, putting my hair in a scrub cap, putting on some nice iron scrubs, perfume, that goes a very long way. So making sure I am upkeeping with my maintenance and making sure my appearance is up to par definitely helps me as far as going on my femininity journey. Now, this also goes hand in hand. If you guys have not watched my hygiene routine video or my what's in my bag video, go watch those. But hygiene is super duper important. I do not like anything odor based. I'm big on oral hygiene, I'm big on skincare, I'm big on body care. I just like to smell good. I personally, I just take pride in that as a woman. So I'm really big on like perfumes. Yeah, I know I have a really extensive perfume collection that I am still growing. I use my perfumes, I do a lot of body care, shower care, all the things, because I think that my maintenance, my upkeep, my appearance, that is your signature. When people look at you or they smell you or whatever the case, like first impressions are everything. And not that you should be walking around trying to impress anybody, but I don't want somebody to ever be like, yeah, like people never forget somebody who smells. I'm sorry, they never do. So making sure that my maintenance is up to par, that I'm always wearing like a nice set, and that I am smelling good, that is very important. I'm saying all of these tips, but I do want to stop midway to let you guys know that I am myself still working on perfecting these things. I'm literally just telling you guys things that I have implemented, because there are some times where you may fall off, you may have a bad day, absolutely, but that is not the goal. I still have a goalpost that I am trying to reach, and I think it is super important to always aim for that, even if I fall off. So I never want this to come off like I am perfect and I'm doing all these things every single day. Absolutely not. There are times where I am gonna fall off, but I just want you guys to know you need to have a goal. So if my goal is to always have my hair done, I may fall off, but at least I know my goal is at least to always have my hair done. You know what I'm trying to say? Another thing that I needed to start doing when I was on this journey was romanticizing my life in every area. Now, these are a lot of things that I learned on TikTok, where I would see a lot of creators, oh, romanticizing this, romanticizing that. And when I started implementing it into my journey, I understood why a lot of women romanticize their life. I think romanticizing the little things keeps you very consistent in the things that you do not want to do. For example, working out. I do not always feel like I want to work out. I don't, but I know what my goal is. So sometimes putting out a really nice cute workout set with a matching headband, having all of that laid out on my bed the night before, it really just motivates me to want to get up, because I'm going to the gym with a nice cute two-piece set, smelling good. You know, that helps. Sometimes I don't want to drink a lot of water. Y'all know I stay with a water bottle. I have a million water bottles. Nice cute pink Stanley cup, filling that up with water. I don't know if it's a mental thing, but it really does encourage me to drink more water. I do not always want to cook at home. I am somebody, I can eat out. I love eating out, and this is something I'm getting better with, but getting some nice cute pots and pan sets and some nice plates can also motivate you to want to do the things, to also want to cook and eat in. Not just the little things you can romanticize in your life, so that you can continue to do the things that you don't want to do, because like I always say, honey, I just repeat the same things all the time. When you do the things that you don't want to do, when you don't want to do it, you get the results that you do want when you want them. Thank you. Another thing that I had to work on in my journey was my language and my tone. All of my tips on this journey were implemented by the Holy Spirit himself, but especially when it comes to language, y'all. Like, I remember one time me and my friends went on a trip, and we were in the car, and we were like, y'all, let's not curse for the next 5 minutes. Y'all, we didn't last 5 seconds, okay? It was just bad, and I just had to learn, for me personally, it's not ladylike to have such a foul mouth. So I really stopped cursing a few years ago. Haven't cursed, honestly. It's not something that's in my vocabulary like day to day. Now, if I'm having a little bit of road rage that I'm still working on, because God's still working on me, and it may slip out, I just immediately repent, because I do not like cursing. Like, I just don't. It just doesn't make me feel ladylike. It doesn't make me feel feminine. It doesn't make me feel soft. Like I said, femininity is subjective. Other women may be like, oh, well, I'm so feminine because I curse. Listen, if you like it, I love it. For me personally, I just did not like it. Also, learning to slow down when I'm speaking. I'm somebody, I used to talk extremely fast. Even though I still feel like I talk a little bit fast, I used to talk even faster, to the point where people would be like, huh, what did you say? And I would be like, I don't talk fast, you just listen slow. So I have learned to really slow down. Like, what is the rush? I don't need to every single time. Like, and I also learned that just because you're loud and you're fast with what you're saying, it does not make you right. Slowing down with my speech, that came from me reading out loud, me talking out loud, and then trying to also remove filler words at the same time. That has helped me so much when it came to tone, presence, and just how I speak overall, because I do not need to rush to get my words out. It's really not that serious when you think about it. Like, it doesn't make me even more right. It doesn't, like, it doesn't prove more of a point. It's completely unnecessary. So that's just something that I'm personally, like I said, I'm still working on, because I do tend to talk fast. I think that's also just the generation that we're in. Like, I'm somebody, if I'm scrolling and you take too long to get to the point, I have to scroll. Like, I just have to scroll by. So I'm learning that maybe the way I talk is based off my attention span alone, but I am trying to do better, because sometimes it's like, all right, don't take too long to drag the point out. By the time you got the point out, I don't forgot what I was gonna say. I forgot what we was talking about. But learning to do all of these things when it comes to my language, it helped me speak more clearly and be more intentional when I do speak. And now when it comes to language, tone, and all of that, that goes hand in hand with not gossiping. I have learned my lesson when it comes to gossip. I have been on both ends of the spectrum of being the gossiper and being the one being talked about. I have learned that I'd rather be the one being talked about than the one doing the talking. Now, this is just a little side tip, but I don't find any pleasure with talking about people. I just don't. I have learned my lesson when I tell you 100%, because growing up in a Caribbean household, it is normal to see gossip. It's normal to hear gossip, to see people gossip. You may do something to your mom and now she's on the phone in front of you telling your whole family what you did, or she's coming to you with what this person did or that person did. It is so normalized, and gossiping really should not be. It's not normal. It is so harmful. And the Bible says, for one, you should be using your speech to build others up. At the end of the day, we are all God's children, and who are we to look down at somebody and gossip on them? Number two, if you cannot control your tongue, you can control nothing else in your life. If you cannot control what comes out of your mouth, nothing else can be controlled, honestly. So that is why I am so big on what I speak and how I speak it, because one thing about God, he has a way of making you eat your words. Stop talking about people, putting word curses on people. I have learned to really be intentional about the words I speak and the way that I speak. Now, this next one, y'all, is a lot. It is super hard for me still till this day, but it's something I've gotten so much better at, and that is being in control. I am an oldest daughter. I am so used to being the one who has to make most of the decisions. As the eldest daughter, you're often seen as like a resource kid, like you're the one who has to do everything. I'm so used to my whole life being in control. This is something I even not only had to learn in friendships, relationships, but in my walk with God. Sometimes walking by faith and not by sight is extremely hard, because I want to know what's next. I want to know what I'm walking into. I need to know. Like, I cannot let go. So sometimes I feel like I can be micromanaging and I can always want to know what's next. But honestly, on my walk with God, I had to learn to surrender. I had to learn to let other people be them. I had to learn that just because somebody is not doing things my way, that does not make their way wrong. They're just doing things the way that they want to, and that's not always wrong. It may not be what I want it to be done like, but what kind of life are you gonna live if you always need to micromanage everything? And I think if you are only hanging around people where you have to micromanage and follow up behind people and always feel like if I don't do it, then it won't get done the right way, not only does that say a lot about you, but it says a lot about the people that you're hanging out with. Because why are you always the one that has to make all of the decisions? I do not think that that is right. I've learned to just release control. I don't need to be in control of anything. Life is just so much more peaceful that way. My mental health is more intact that way. I have learned to just really not care. Like, I cannot control other people. I can only control myself. Needing to control and manage every single thing, I think that that had me in my masculine energy, because I think a real feminine woman, I think the real vulnerability there is being able to sit back and just let things happen. It doesn't mean that you need to be a doormat and just let anything roll off the back of your shoulders. Absolutely not. I've learned to like pick my battles. I don't always need to have the last word. I do not always have to be right. I do not always need people to see where I'm coming from. For example, even if I'm at work and we're having a conversation and the conversation goes into, like, for example, somebody will ask you, oh, do you believe in X, Y, and Z? And I'll be like, no, I really don't believe in that. Well, why? I actually believe that. And I'll be like, oh, okay, noted. Like, I love that for you. I don't now feel the need to be like, no, that's wrong. Because I personally used to come off very argumentative, because I always felt like I was just always right. Like, no, I'm always right. I am in control of this conversation. Absolutely not. You're not about to just say that and get away with it. But that is just so masculine to me. Like, now I can really care less about being in control of even conversations. Whatever you say, it will be that. Like, noted, I love that for you, and walk away. You got to understand that people are going through life through their experiences, through their childhood, through things that they have went through. It is not up to me to change their mind. It is not up to me to get them to see life through through my lens. That's not my problem. I am no longer taking on other people's battles, wounds, mental things that they are going through. That has nothing to do with me, okay? Able to have a conversation and understand that we are different people. I'm able to talk to you and not always feel the need to be in control of everything. I hope those two, you guys understand how those two go hand in hand. But yeah, always needing to be in control of something, or always needing to have the last word. I feel like that can really put you in your masculine, and I was just tired of that. And when I tell y'all, life is just so much more peaceful. It is so much more peaceful when you just sit back, release control, and just move in this life with grace. Now this goes hand in hand with my next point of being able to embrace help and not be afraid to ask for help. I was always that type of woman where I felt like I'm not asking nobody for nothing, so I always felt like I needed to get it on my own. I always had to do my own thing. I used to always be the one like, I don't need no man, I'll do all this by myself. Y'all, that is nothing but masculinity. And like I said before, I think a lot of the things that I used to say was rooted in anxiety and pain and trauma, because now I have learned that embracing help and asking for help is fine. Like, I would be the type of person, I know I would need help, and when somebody would be like, hey, do you need help with this? I'd be like, no, I'm okay, simply because I never wanted it to be thrown in my face. Growing up, I feel like our parents have sacrificed so much that they have always led with their sacrifices, the things that they should be doing. Oh, I wasn't able to do X, Y, and Z because I had you. Like, they'll even throw in those sacrifices when you did not ask to be here back in your face. So I always used to have like this defense mechanism up. Like, I don't ever want somebody to have the opportunity to be able to say that they did anything for me, that they helped me in any type of way. But now I have learned to just release that, and I had to unlearn that because that is so unhealthy. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to be led. It is okay to embrace it when somebody wants to help you. Like, I really do not need to be this hyper independent woman anymore, because when I was that hyper independent woman, I realized that I was with men who were just absolute no. They were absolutely a no-no. When I was very hyper independent, I was not dealing with men who were soft with me, who were protecting me, who were providing for me, who were doing those things, because I was always so big on, I don't need you anyway, and that's how I'm gonna move in this life, you know? Because when a man truly loves you, he will have no problem leading you, protecting you, providing for you, and doing those small things to make you feel seen and loved. And I do believe that people in your life, especially in the capacity of a relationship, they should make your life easier. It could be the little things as far as like not carrying bags, not opening doors, or it could be things like, oh my God, I had a really, really long day at work, and then you come home and you have flowers and dinner made and then the house clean. It could be little tiny things like that, like going into your car and seeing that your tank is already full, that your car got detailed. These are like the small acts, because my love language as an oldest daughter is acts of service. So these are the small things that I see, because I believe that you can't only just say things, you have to also follow up with action. So sometimes it's not just about what people say, it's about what people do. So those little actions that add up over time will make you want to be soft, will make you want to lay back, will make you want to not be in control, because you know that I'm dealing with a man that when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. You know that I have a friend who keeps her word. You know that when I tell somebody something, I know it's not going to be used against me in any capacity. I know that when I'm not around, that I have people in my life who speak up for me. Now, these are things that I said comes with trust and comes with having friendships and relationships of quality. So this is not something you're just going to be able to wake up and do, but it is something that will happen over time when you have the right people in your life. I would never say to just be a doormat. I would never say to be soft and really vulnerable for a man who's showing you he does not want you. But like I said, when I was hyper independent and always, I don't need no man, I don't need no man, that only led me to be in my masculine and always have like an ego tussle with men, because I always felt like, no, I wear the pants. What I say goes. You know what I'm trying to say? And that is just not the life that I want to live anymore. Like, I fought enough throughout my life. I fought so many battles, like mentally, emotionally, physically. I just don't have it no more. Like, I'm just at a point in my life where I just want to release control. I want to sit back, and I don't need to just be on top of everything. It literally will drive you insane. So learning how to do these small things and being around people that I fully trust and sense surrender to has helped me be more soft, vulnerable, sensitive, and feminine. Another thing that I feel like is just law is to not chase, but to attract. I truly believe what is meant for you will be yours. It doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, or next week. What is for you will be for you. You do not have to chase love. You don't have to chase friendships. You don't have to chase for validation. You don't have to chase opportunities. Nothing. If it is meant for you, it will be for you no matter what. When you're operating naturally just in your feminine energy, I do not believe that you will have to chase anything. I think that because you are so grounded, so confident, that things will naturally attract themselves to you. I think when you are well grounded, when you're rested, when you're glowing, you become a magnet to opportunities. You become a magnet. And that is also something that you have to have discernment when it comes to, because a lot of people will try to just leech off of your energy, or they will try to come to you to kind of like mimic you. They will try to just come around you to be able to copy what you're doing. And the beauty in that is when you're you and you're grounded, you don't even care who necessarily copies you, because you know that they can't move unless you move. So when I move, you move, just like that, you know? So being that type of woman, I also say you need to be on high alert, because people will literally hate you for being you to the point where they hate you so much they can't stop watching you and they want to mimic you. Like Nikki said, they diss me but running to take the same route, okay? Like that's literally how it goes. So I just want you guys to know, when you're on this journey, to be very careful of who is around you. Continuously take inventory of your life, because I'm telling y'all, jealousy is a murdering spirit. I don't care what nobody says, it is biblical. When people are jealous of you, there is no telling how far they will go to try to end you, okay? So that being said, let's move on to some final tips that I've had that helped me on this journey as well. Number one is being graceful. Now, this is something I had to find a really good balance in, because I personally felt like when I would give people grace, I would oftentimes excuse their behavior. Like, yeah, I understand why this person did this because they grew up this way and that way. But honestly, I realized I am no longer trying to play mental gymnastics with anybody. I am not trying to figure out why you did what you did. That is not my weight to carry. That's not my battle to fight. That is yours. I can still give people grace without always trying to excuse their behavior, because at a certain age, it's no longer, okay, this is how I grew up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you didn't learn this. Now it is time to learn it. We are adults. And I think that I can be able to give people grace and be understanding, but still standing on how I feel, because at the end of the day, it is always impact over intention. People may have good intentions, but how I am impacted still matters. So learning to be very graceful, learning to not hold grudges, learning to forgive people, and learning to not hold grudges, not repeat things and bring it up. All of that came with giving people grace, and honestly with a lot of prayer, because if you are not new here, when I first came on social media, I was like, what, 22, 23, and I was big on not forgiving. I was like, I'm not forgiving nobody. You know what you did to me, you know how you hurt me, and now I am never going to forgive you. But everything that I have done in my life, if God could forgive me, who am I not to extend that same grace to other people? I am forgiving. I am going to forgive you. But that doesn't always mean that we need to reconcile. That doesn't always mean we are going to have the same relationship. And like I said, you have to use your discernment and you have to pray on these things, because sometimes you can give so much grace where you continuously excuse people for their behavior and you continuously get hurt over and over and over again. And that's just not something that I am doing. As I am on this journey to be more soft and be more feminine, I have to learn when enough is enough. And I'm just gonna leave that there. Another thing that has helped me on this journey was practicing my posture. This is a tip, y'all, that I used to slouch a lot, right? But because I started wearing a lot of waist trainers on my fitness journeys, because I really just started to be intentional about it, I've learned that sitting up straight and crossing my legs, and now that I've lost weight and I'm able to cross my legs, child, because when I was 70 pounds heavier, it was a struggle to cross my legs. Now that I'm able to do that, I feel like it just changes how you carry yourself and also how people respond to you in a way. Now that I'm speaking about posture and how weight loss helped me with that, I also want to touch on weight loss very quickly, y'all. I cannot learn to be a feminine woman if I'm not confident in who I am. And when I started to lose weight, I started to be way more confident in myself and my skin. I started to feel much better because internally I felt better, and I felt better in my clothes. This sweater, y'all, used to be so freaking tight. I actually bought it, I think I bought it like 2 years ago. It was so tight. You can see like the cellulite in my arms. Now it is nice and loose. It's actually fitted the way I wanted to. So when I see that I'm fitting in my clothes better, when I'm seeing that I do not need a million gadgets, undergarments to make me feel confident in my clothes, when I'm seeing that I'm able to walk outside with, you know, my arms out, because that was a big insecurity of mine, that really had me feeling confident. I don't want to touch too much on weight loss, but this does tie into your maintenance and your appearance, just upkeeping yourself any way, shape, or form. And losing weight was a big part of this journey for me. So I didn't want to go any further without touching on that, because confidence and I think femininity go hand in hand. Also, journaling. This is something that I like to do daily, whether at night. Sometimes when I'm at work, I just go on the journal app on my phone. Sometimes when I'm, you know, at night when I am just after Bible study, thinking about my day in the morning, setting the tone for the day, whatever the case. Journaling helped me like do a lot of reflection. I am very big on self-reflection because I'm very big on accountability. So I am big on holding myself accountable and not having a victim mindset and not feeling like everything is everyone else's fault. When I learned to journal, to reflect, to hold myself accountable, that's when I started to make better decisions in my life. And also it helped me stay more in tune with myself. So it's kind of like a check-in with yourself, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is, you know, these are the things that I want to work on, blah, blah, blah. And it gives me an opportunity to not just reflect and hold myself accountable, but to really get in tune with my emotions. So journaling is something that has helped me a lot as well. And that goes hand in hand with boundaries. Y'all, I listen, if you're not new here, like I keep saying, these are things I've talked about for years. Being an oldest child who always felt like they had to perform. At first I was a parent pleaser, then I turned into a people pleaser. I always wanted to please people. I always wanted to, you know, do things to make other people happy. But one thing I've learned on this journey with God is that it's either you are going to please God or please man. You can't do both. So I had to learn to really be firm on my boundaries, like firm on them. And that is what tested a lot of my relationships over the years, because I was so tired of always being the one who is inconvenienced and nobody else would want to be inconvenienced when it's the other way around. And not that you do these things to get things in return, but sometimes you can just do so much that you deplete yourself and it's just like you have nothing left to give. With femininity, I had to learn to be in tune with what I needed and saying no to anything else that did not align with that. Unfortunately, I am no longer willing to say yes when I really want to say no. I am no longer going to pick up my phone and force myself to have conversations when I know I just cannot hold space for this right now. Now, does that mean that you just need to go missing and like completely disappear on people? No, absolutely not. I do think that when you love people, you do owe them the basic respect of at least saying, hey, I don't have it right now. That's it. I'm never gonna promote like going ghost on your friends or anybody in your life, but being able to set a clear boundary like, hey, I don't have the capacity for this right now. This is just not something I can talk about right now. Give me some time. Those are the things that are important to create healthy boundaries while also not sacrificing your relationships, because it can come off just a little bit selfish. So you gotta have discernment, like I say, and you have to know when to apply certain things as well, you know? And another thing, like I am big on giving compliments. I am big on uplifting other women. I do not need to dim somebody else's light for me to shine. I am big. If I see a woman who's walking by and looking good, smelling good, makeup good, whatever it is, I am big on complimenting them. I lose nothing by saying, oh my gosh, you look very beautiful. Oh, you smell good, or this or that. I think uplifting other women and creating that safe space, it shows that you are confident in yourself. And this is why I say confidence and femininity go hand in hand, because what do I lose by telling another woman she looks good? Nothing. I think the whole term like girl's girl really just got misconstrued. People think like girl's girl only applies when it comes to me telling you where I got my hair from, where I got this from or that from. But no, a part of being a true girl's girl is you do not need to tear down other women, especially at the expense of a man. Because one thing we have learned in this life is that when a man is involved, the whole girl's girl thing goes out the window. But that's a conversation for another day, honey. The point is, when you are confident in yourself, what you bring to the table and all of your attributes, accolades, whatever it is, how you look, how you feel, you do not need to tear somebody else down. Period. So that is some of the main things that has helped me on this journey. Remember, femininity is not a one size fit all. It is subjective. What works for me may not work for you and vice versa. So it is important to just take what applies, and if it doesn't, let it fly. These things is just how I started tapping into my femininity journey and like learning how to be more feminine. It is still a journey. Like I said, I am constantly unlearning and learning every single day. I learn new things about myself, about other people, about I'm always learning, y'all. I'm in a constant state of evolution. I'm always trying to be better than I was the day before. I'm not in competition with nobody. I have my eyes on my own journey, and I'm just worried about me right now. Like all I see is me. It's me versus me. Okay, this is what I did yesterday. How do I be better? Okay, this experience taught me this. How do I be better for the next time? You know, and just continuously learning. That is the thing. That's the key on this journey. But if any of these things resonated with you, let me know down below in the comments. If there are some things that you're doing that maybe I did not say in this video, let me know down below as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys took away something. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much.